Hey everybody, it is RL, the Retro Pizza Guy, coming back to you again for more content on my channel, the Retro Pizza Guy channel, where I give up slices of pizza, play video games, and rant about things for 5 minutes. Well, actually, it's more than 5 minutes, but it's like a rant that's 5 minutes long that keeps on giving. So I am going to have a new rant for you tonight, or today, whenever you're watching this video. It doesn't really matter when I'm recording it. It's when you are watching it that matters. So it could be in the day, it could be at night, whatever. It could be with a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, whatever you choose to watch a rant. Hope you enjoyed this rant. So I'm going to be talking about the new Superman S, a new Superman, originally called Superman Legacy. Now it's called just Superman, the new James Gunn Superman that's coming out in about, a little over a year, in 2025. So close, so soon, so far. But anyways, I digress. Let's start the rant now. 5 minutes, probably going to be longer, but I'm just going to do segments of 5. I like to call it 5-minute rants because it's 5-minute rant sounds better than saying rant forever. You know, ranting forever is not as fun or as watchable, actually. So I'm not really going to be talking about the Superman S, but I also want to talk about other Superman elements, like what Man of Steel did right, what Man of Steel did wrong, who is your favorite Superman. I'm a Christopher Reeve guy. I grew up in the Christopher Reeve era. Yes, I'm pretty old. Man of Steel, Henry Cavill, obviously is very popular. A lot of people are upset that Zack Snyder's Superman, Man of Steel, is no more, and now James Gunn has come in, and he's taken over and changing the DCU, making it all new, getting rid of stuff like Wonder Woman, no more Gal Gadot, no more Henry Cavill, no more whatever. I don't know all the details, but I know there's a new Superman movie coming out, and I know there's a new Supergirl coming out, Woman of Tomorrow, I believe it's called. I'm excited about that. I love Supergirl. It's been way too long since there's been a Supergirl movie. 1984, way too long. And I'm not even going to talk about the Flash movie, Supergirl. Although she was very good in that movie, by the way. Although she really didn't have much to do. And they killed her off, and it was just, I don't know. I thought it was terrible. Leave a comment below. Let me know how bad that was. I think it was terrible. But she did a great job. Anyways, she's not Supergirl anymore. I'm not talking about Supergirl. Where's the rant starting? Okay, the rant's starting now. Alright, so the new Superman S came out a couple of weeks ago. It is the Kingdom Come Superman with the, what's the guy's name? Alex Ross? I don't remember his name. Correct me down below. But the S is basically an homage to that. It's pretty much the same S, except the background is yellow instead of black. I'm actually happy they stuck with the yellow and red, because I would have been really pissed if they decided to do black and red, which does not really appeal to me. I mean, I'm not a huge Superman fan, as in comic book Superman, so I don't know a lot about the comic book Superman, but I grew up, again, Christopher Reeve Superman era, the traditional red and yellow. And to be honest, what do I think about that S? I don't really hate it, but I don't really love it. I actually comparing it to the Man of Steel, and I think the Man of Steel logo is way better. But it isn't really about DS, it's about the movie. And I agree, as long as James Gunn writes an amazing movie and he understands Superman and he knows what he's doing, it doesn't matter what the hell the S looks like, even though it does look like a Z, not an S. I guess it's kind of like Zorro, maybe Zorro, I don't know. Are they turning him into Zorro? I mean, he was turning into Batman, so maybe now they're going to go the other way and turn him into Zorro. Anyways, I'm not hating on it that much. I'm just noticing that the Z, it looks like a Z, and he's not Zorro. But hey, it's just an S, or it's just a Z. But I do believe it's not as good as the Man of Steel Superman S. Although it's not an S. It stands for hope. And I noticed in the first picture they showed of the S, there is a texture that's kind of similar in nature, in design, with the Man of Steel. I mean, the texture elements of the grain and the kind of thing, it kind of has that Man of Steel grain to it, or texture to it. So they're not going Superman Christopher Reeve with no texture, just a banner on himself. But that was the 1970s, the late 70s. Didn't have the material they do now. So it's understandable. But I do like the Superman Reeves costume better in many ways over the Man of Steel. I do think Man of Steel's costume, the fabric is way better than obviously Christopher Reeve's. Kind of look more like pajamas, although not really. I mean, some images, if you look at it, was more pajama looking, but when he was in the costume in the movie, it didn't really look like pajamas. I don't know. It's still iconic. I really did like Man of Steel when it came out back in 2013. I thought it was very well done. I was comparing it really to Superman Returns, which we won't talk about. Okay, I'm going to rant about that actually. That is one of the worst frickin' symbols I've ever seen. The reason I didn't like it is because it looked so frickin' small and it looked like plastic. That costume, it was really, really bad. You know, I really tried to like it when it first came out and thinking maybe it's not that terrible, but no, I was wrong. I just wanted to like it because I'm a Superman fan. Man, all these years later, retrospective, everything about it was bad. The colors just didn't work. The blue collided with the mauve. It wasn't even red. They were trying to go dark, and then they got blue, which was not dark enough. It was just terrible. The boots looked like everything looked like plastic. It looked like a Halloween costume. I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. I keep on saying I'm sorry. Why am I saying I'm sorry? No, I'm not sorry, Internet. You don't like it, fine. We all have the right to have our own opinion. Leave comments below. Keep it civil. But look at the top of the costume. The connection of the costume, where the cape meets the curvature there. It looks like a t-shirt. Superman should not look like he's wearing a t-shirt and tucking in his cape like a freaking child. It's terrible. Man of Steel, it looks elegant. It looks perfect. I love the attachment of the Superman cape to the costume in Man of Steel. And even in Christopher Reeve's Superman, the cape costume, in terms of the way the cape goes into the costume, it works fine. It's way better than Superman Returns. So that is my rant. There's more rants going on here. I'm going to be going past the 5 minutes mark. I'm already past the 5 minute mark. I'm probably going to go 20 minutes. So 5 minutes times 3, 15, maybe times 4, 20. Math on my channel. We'll see how far I take this rant. I'm going to separate it. Every time I rant, I'm going to take a slice of pizza and really get pissed off. The more pissed off I'm going to get, the more pizza I'm going to eat. That's what I'm going to do. And anyway, so yeah, Man of Steel, I don't like it anymore. Every time I watch that movie, it's basically a big, dumb movie with special effects and fighting, and there's so much destruction. It's a smash movie. It's a smash and bash movie. Superman doesn't save anybody. I'll actually disagree. Superman saves the whole freaking world in that movie because he destroys that whole machine that's going to terraform Earth. The whole stupid idea of that movie, by the way, there's so many plot holes in that movie I'm not even going to get into. But why the hell did the Kryptonians decide to stop colonizing other planets? Why the hell did Jor-El not be able to build a spaceship that could take him and his son and his wife to Earth? Because they have the limitations of the comic book. They have to stay true to what was created back in 1938, but they need to world build. They need to make the universe bigger and smarter and larger. Because let's face it, General Zod is a general of a freaking planet? How the hell does that make any freaking sense? He's a freaking general of a one planet? How small is the freaking planet that there's only one general? Why are there other generals? General Zod. I mean, there should be provinces, there should be countries, there should be states, there should be everything like Earth, but larger, or maybe a little smaller, more advanced. They need to flesh it out. And the story doesn't really make sense. If you watch Man of Steel from the beginning, it looked really awesome, it looked visually stunning, but everything happens in couple of hours. All of a sudden, he decides, I'm going to tell the council on the freaking last day that the planet, Krypton, is going to blow up! And all of a sudden, there's a coup with Zod coming, taking over, and killing people, killing the Senate, killing whatever, because they're all freaking yes people, idiots, you can't even decide on shit, whatever. It doesn't make much sense, because it happens so fast, but I guess it's a movie, so it has to happen in a very time-convenient space. But the whole concept of Man of Steel, if you watch it more and more, you realize that there's so many plot holes. I don't hate the movie. I don't. And I'm not saying Superman movie, the first Superman, Superman 2, those movies are dated. There's a lot of nostalgia for me in those movies. They're not great pacing movies. There's a lot of stuff in Superman, the movie, the first Superman motion picture. It is really freaking slow until you get into Metropolis when Superman actually becomes Superman. But when he saves Lois Lane, that helicopter where she's falling and he catches her, I got you, miss, and who's got you? I mean, that is brilliant. I'm sorry, that is one of the most amazing Superman, most amazing superhero moments of all time. One of them. I'm not saying it's the greatest, because there's so many great ones, but that one is awesome. But Man of Steel, they don't really understand Superman. They were trying to turn Superman into Batman. One of the things I hated about the costume, and I, again, love the design, the colors were just way, way too dark. It needs to stand for hope. The S, hope, not bleak. Bleak is not Superman. Batman, he's a man. He's bleak because he's traumatized from his parents being killed when he's a child. And he blames himself. So that's why he's a dark character. He has no superpowers. His power is his detective skills, his being a billionaire, and the gadgets. That's his superpower. Stop making one character like another character because it's successful. Yes, Batman has been more successful than Superman in the last number of years, but that doesn't mean you turn him into Batman. They just don't understand the character of Superman. I'm not saying Man of Steel is terrible, but they still didn't understand Superman. I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. There's nothing wrong with having a bright, colorful outfit. So people look up in the sky and say, that's someone you could trust, not some dark Batman character who's angry. No, be angry with Martha, or be angry with Lois Lane, not with the civilians who don't really know you, and they shouldn't see that side of you because you're Superman. You can freaking lift a building, you can lift a planet. That's pretty scary. If you're gonna be broody, people are gonna probably be frightened of him. I get it, they're trying to make him more modern, whatever, but that's my view. He needs to be a beacon of hope. He can't be a depressed Superman. I understand he's grown up on Earth. Obviously, they're trying to humanize him. He looks like a human. He has emotions. He has feelings, but he needs to be Superman, the beacon of hope, like Christopher Reeve. Really, Superman, he's three characters. He's Kal-El, who's the last son of Krypton. He's Clark Kent, the disguise. And then there's Superman, which is another disguise. So he's got three personas. So Kal-El can be moody and grumpy to Lois Lane and his mom. Those are the two people who be grumpy too. But the rest of the world, he needs to be the beacon of hope, like Christopher Reeve's Superman. That is a persona. That's his disguise. He's got two disguises. And in Man of Steel, they didn't understand Clark Kent. They think, oh, such a stupid disguise. He puts on the glasses and nobody knows he's Superman. It's not about the glasses. It's the persona. In Man of Steel, they thought, well, we can't have Lois Lane not know he's Clark Kent. It's kind of silly, right? She's this great reporter and she can't piece together that he's Superman. She's put Superman on this massive pedestal. She's in love with this guy. She doesn't want to see that this dorky Clark Kent could be Superman. Who would? Who would think that this dorky guy who slunches over, has no self-confidence, would be Superman? No, of course not. Assumptions. And also, she met Clark Kent first before she met Superman. She established a rapport with Clark Kent. She established that she's this dorky guy. She didn't respect him from the start. So when you meet Superman for the first time, you're not going to put the two together. It's a totally different persona, totally different people in her mind. It's just psychology. You don't think this person who's so low self-esteem and has no confidence would be a Man of Steel. Assumptions. That's the disguise. A lot of people just don't get it. It's not just looking at someone and saying, oh, glasses, no glasses, glasses, no glasses. There's more to it than that. So many people make assumptions, but it's all psychology, what I'm trying to say. Man of Steel didn't get it right. They thought, oh, well, we're just going to make it like, Clark Kent is just like, we'll start off like, in the end of the movie where he's in there and Lois Lane gives him this look like she knows. It basically took away part of what made Superman such an iconic character, because you had the separation of the element there of the Superman lore, I'm trying to say. And in Man of Steel, we didn't get that. We got this angst Superman who's punching things because everyone wanted punching. Superman is not just about punching stuff. It's not what makes Superman Superman. Superman is that beacon of hope, that savior. Alright, moving on. The rant is going all over the place. I was supposed to be talking about the ass, ranting about the ass, whether I liked it or not, and I start going into all these different branches of topics of Superman because it is a big topic. I love the character growing up, the Christopher Reeve movies. I really do hope that James Gunn makes something special, but there's so many people who are pro Zack Snyder, fans of Zack Snyder, who are like already condemning this movie, hating on this movie, saying it's going to be the worst piece of shit, they're not going to ever watch it. Man, at least give something a chance. I don't know if it's going to be good. It may be terrible, but it can't be any worse than Superman Returns, and I don't think it'll be worse than Man of Steel. It'll probably be different. And that's okay. Different is okay. I'm ranting about difference. Honestly, that's what the rant is about today. Just emotional rants about Superman and just the community and how much it is so divided and the toxicity. I don't want toxic comments in my comment section, so keep it damn civil. I know I'm swearing a lot. So yeah, leave a comment below. Let me know what is your favorite Superman of all time. And if you're going to say it, explain to me why you think it is that way. Don't just say my favorite is Henry Cavill. I mean, honestly, his Superman was okay. It wasn't terrible. I really think he modernized it in many ways and made Superman more human. Christopher Reeve was like, you could tell he was just this alien. He was very hard to relate to in a way in the movies. Like he wasn't very human. He was always Superman. He had this aura about him that you can't touch. It's like this. And Henry Cavill had a different kind of aura. Which is better? Which is worse? It's all preference. What you grew up with, nostalgia. There's a lot of people growing up now, and nostalgia is Henry Cavill's Superman. But give the new Superman a chance. I really do think James Gunn has a good grasp of the character. If you read some of the things he was saying about Superman and what he loved about the Christopher Reeve Superman, about the beacon of hope. I know I said beacon of hope a lot because he thinks that. He really believes in that beacon of hope. Superman is a bit of a Boy Scout. He's a bit of a boring character. He's not really funny. He doesn't do a lot of what people want in this era. That tough guy, kind of like this bad guy. Almost like the Grand Theft Auto. That protagonist, the anti-hero. That's what it was in the early 2000s. Nobody wanted the good. But, there's nothing wrong with the good. We need a little bit of good these days. You know what I mean? I'm okay with old-fashioned goodness. We need that. So Superman, the new Superman, not Legacy, just Superman. I think it's going to be okay. I don't know yet. I really hope it will be okay. But I'm not going to predict anything. But I really love James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy. That is one of my favorite franchises of all time. A lot of people don't like the second one, but I still think the second one was pretty damn awesome. And the third one was an amazing movie. Actually, I'm going to do a rant about Guardians of the Galaxy 3 because there were a lot of things in that movie, even though I loved it, there were a lot of things that kind of annoyed me. So I think my next rant will be about Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So stay tuned for that. And yes, I ranted for almost 20 minutes. I know I say 5-minute rant, so maybe some people are going to think it's false advertising. But yes, I can't do anything for 5 minutes. There's going to be a long rant. That's how it is on my channel. Nothing is short. It's just lots of yammering and talking, and hopefully you like it. So don't forget to leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about the new Superman. Let me know what you think about the older Supermans. Yes, what is your favorite Superman? Leave some comments below, and I'll have more content in the weeks, months, and years to come. Bye for now.